Here's another question. What is the significance and benefit of chanting the names of Mother and the 1,008 names of the Divine Mother? Is this for tapas? Why does Mother ask her children to do them? I am a householder with a demanding job and feel guilty that I don't have time to do these practices, or should they be my sadhana instead of mantra japa? So, as many of you may be aware of, there's a book now, just made available last week. It's the 1,000 Names of the Divine Mother, which is the names plus a commentary on the names. And in that book there's an introduction written by one of the brahmacharis at the ashram. And he says some very interesting things, and he quotes Mother also about the 1,000 names. And I would like to read you just a little bit of it. Mother, who has listened to the sorrows of millions of people and has dedicated her life to the Mother, has listened to the sorrows of millions of people and has dedicated her life to the alleviation of their pain. As a result of her untiring efforts, Sahasranam Archana, that's the repeating the 1,000 names, and chanting have become widespread even among the general public. The big Sahasranam yajnas, the sacrifices that she organizes regularly, are a proof of the wish to strengthen this that is cherished by Mother, whose only desire is the happiness of the world. So this is one thing that Mother's doing all over the world, particularly in India, is this chanting of the 1,000 names in unison, in big groups, thousands of people chanting it sometimes 5 times a day. And if you ask those people who have attended that, it gives a tremendous effect. You really feel some divine presence. Amma says this about the importance of the worship of the Mother of the Universe and the Lilitha Sahasranam Archana at the present time. In the present age, the instincts of the heart and the motherly instinct have been lost from people. Motherhood is the symbol of love, compassion, forbearance, patience. Feminine qualities like compassion and love should become stronger in men, and masculine qualities like steadiness and courage should grow in women. Rapid progress will then become possible in both worldly and spiritual life. The worship of the Divine Mother is ideal for enhancing these good qualities. Worship using Lilitha Sahasranam is of utmost value for the prosperity of the family and for peace in the world. There will never be shortage of food or clothing in the home where Lilitha Sahasranam is chanted. In olden days, gurus, when giving mantras of Krishna or Vishnu to their disciples, usually instructed them to do archana with Lilitha Sahasranam as well. That was so that even though the disciples were renunciates, Divine Mother would take care of them through the grace of the 1,000 names. Those were Mother's words. The best time for chanting the Sahasranam is in the morning, right after a bath. While daily practice is the best, certain special days are prescribed for those who cannot do it daily. Days like the 1st of the month, the 9th and the 14th lunar days, full moon days, Fridays, birthdays, and times of eclipse. So if you can't do it every day, at least do it on these special days of the month. Chanting the Sahasranam is a special practice that strengthens devotion and can be followed by everyone, man or woman, young or old, at any time. You may wonder how a young person could chant the 1,000 names. There's so many names. Well, there's one young boy that comes here. Since he's 6 or 7 years old, he's chanting the 1,000 names of Vishnu. He knows them by heart. When he was 7, he sat next to me and he chanted the whole thing without looking at a book. Took him about 45 minutes. So it's possible. Children can do it if the parents encourage them enough It is desirable to set apart a fixed time for daily chanting. If that time is missed, it's important to maintain the daily observance by doing it as soon as possible afterwards. Although it is important to strive for clarity and pronunciation while chanting, it is not necessary to give up the archana if one finds it hard to pronounce the names. God is one who understands our heart. Mother reminds us that the Father knows that the baby is calling him and feels love for it, whether it says cha or acha. Acha means father in Malayalam. In the same way, devotion and concentration are more important than rituals or lamps or incense. There is no need to interrupt the daily practice because of difficulty in obtaining materials of worship such as flowers or food. All such materials are only props for concentration or symbols of surrender. Purity of heart and one-pointedness of mind are most important. That is why Mother says that manasa puja, mental puja, is the most exalted form of worship. So what is manasa puja? You might have heard Mother before Devi Bhava. I don't know if she still does that here, but she describes how we should worship the Divine Mother in our mind, and then she describes what the form is like, and then you give her bath, and you put flowers and this thing and that thing. So in your mind, you worship. That takes a lot of concentration. And it's very difficult to do for many people, and that's why the external worship is recommended, so that you develop that concentration. And then you shouldn't stop there. You should go to the inner worship, which is the manasa puja. Even though many different benefits are indicated to accrue from the Sahasranam, it is best to do the worship just for obtaining the love of God, for jnana, wisdom, and vairagya, dispassion. Worship with no desire for results will actually bring an end to the struggles arising from karma and result in all desirable benefits. So many people do archana, sahasranam, or puja to satisfy their desires, that God should bless them with the satisfaction of their desires, which is okay. It'll happen. But what Mother recommends is forget about that. When you're doing puja or archana, do it for chitta suddhi, means purity of mind. If you have a pure mind, that means that bhakti, jnana, vairagya, devotion, wisdom and dispassion will dawn in your mind, and that'll be the end of all suffering. Then you'll be in the ocean of bliss. If you do like that, then in addition to that, your other desires will be satisfied. You'll get both things instead of just the satisfaction of your desires. You know the story of one goddess, not with a capital G, a small g. In fact, I think it's from Roman mythology. There was a goddess named Atlanta. So Mother gives the example of milk. She says that if you have the milk, then you've got everything that's in the milk. If you've got the milk, then you've got the yogurt, you've got the butter, the ghee, and the milk. But if you have only the yogurt, you're not going to get the milk. Or if you have only the butter, you don't get the milk or the yogurt. So if you have milk, you have everything. So if you get the grace of Devi, or the grace of God, then you'll have everything else also. Christ puts it a different way. If you seek the kingdom of heaven, then everything will be added to you. It's the same exact meaning. If you seek God, then everything else will be taken care of. Don't worry about it. But if you seek lesser things through God, you won't get God for a long time. The Mother of the universe, who is full of love for those who take refuge in her, will never forsake anyone coming to her with unwavering devotion. What higher good fortune is there than being able to be the object of the kindness of the Mother, whose heart is always melting with compassion, and to enjoy the nectar of her motherly love as an innocent child in her lap? So this is the part of the introduction to the Sahasranam book.